Our first comedian of the evening is a newcomer to the comedy scene. He's been born and raised in Denver. He's pretty much been offending people his whole life. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Alex Scott.
Take it easy, you guys don't know if you're going to like me just yet, but if you do, there's going to be a sign-up sheet in the back, so after, you can just sign up to be one of my concubines. I'm sorry, this fucking brain fart, dude. I'm super nervous right now. If you can't tell, this is my first time on stage, and what I'm liable to do is piss and shit myself up here, and that might just happen, but I finally figured out, I was sweating this gig for the longest time, but the mindset that I finally figured out that I need to have going into this is to just treat it like I just got the raw end of the deal on a 69, and my nose is going to be buried into a butthole for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And so I just got to take a deep breath and just go for it. So now, if you all would just bend over and let me fillet you as I penetrate your butthole with my nose. So, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I was going to come out and say I'm emo. I've always been emotional, but I'm not emo in the sense that, I play the emo guitar where I just slash my wrist. And I don't cry. I don't write poetry. And if I do cry, I'm not masturbating with my tears. And one thing that always kind of gets me is dudes that have a lot of testosterone flowing through their body, and I always kind of jab at these guys. It's not the smartest thing for an emo dude to be doing because you're gonna get hit. But so I remember a few weeks ago I was jabbing on this guy, and I said something about him having a chode, and if you don't know what a chode is, I'll come back full circle for you in like a couple of minutes. And so he turned to me and he said, kid, I'll be your worst nightmare. I'm shaking in my boots at the time. I'm like, dude, this dude's gonna hit me. But then it finally hit me, and I was like, well, one, despite my outward appearance, I'm 23 years old, and my mentality, it kind of says otherwise. And two, my worst nightmare is where I'm breastfeeding my mother, and it turns, and she looks up to say I love you, and it turns into my father, and he just starts berating me, like, it's really, so, luckily I got away unscathed from the dude, but he, I think dudes like that think that if they're gonna hit someone like me, that they might as well just be beating on a woman. It's just like, and that's okay with me because I'm very, very effeminate. So, all right, now I'm gonna come back around to the chode, and what a chode is a dick. Yeah, there you go. is a dick whose girth amazingly exceeds the length. So, and it can't hit the bottom of a tuna can, but can sure as hell scrape the sides going in. I think my fear, or it's not really a fear, it's kind of a fascination with this dick demographic, because you hear stories all the time, but it started when I was younger and I was camping, and well, it's not going to go that way, alright, it wasn't a molestation story or anything, but I was camping, and we were sitting around the campfire telling horror stories, and one kid brings up this horrifying story of the chose. And what I think he called it was La Chotacabra. And it really freaked me out because he would tell about how you knew which the gut stretcher is what he called it, which is really a horrifying picture. And he was like, you could always know when a woman has been gut stretched by the choke, because when the right draft of air comes up their skirt, it sounds like. And I was terrified at that point, so I went and I took all the tuna cans from the campsite, and I unscrewed all the mufflers from the car and kind of set booby traps up around my tent. And then I stayed up all night biting my nails because I don't want to be penetrated by something like that. And I got to get out of here. I got this amazing piece of equipment on my leg, and if you don't know what this is, it's a tracking device basically. If I'm not home by 8:30, it explodes into a million dicks all around me. And if you've never seen anyone assaulted by a lot of dicks, it kind of looks like this. Thank you very much.
Alex Scott, ladies and gentlemen, Comedy Virgin.